John Willie Kofi Harley was born on the 9th of May in 1919. He was 10 years the junior of Kwame Nkrumah in terms of age. And he was a Ghanaian who rose through the ranks for various reasons. Can we settle down our students and look at how John Willie Kofi Harley, Harley is spelled Harley. John Harley was born on the 9th of May in 1919 in the Volta region in a village called Akagla. A-K-A-G-L-A, Akagla, in the Volta region. At the time in 1919 when he was born, the Volta region was controlled and administered by both the French and the English. He attended the Presbyterian schools at Bosso, B-O-S-O, and Ekropong. Now Bosso is located right there in the eastern region of Ghana, just across the Volta Lake. And Ekropong is located right there in Equiapim, the southeastern part of Ghana. My brother, my sister. He was a man who loved education. He completed his elementary school education at Angloga Presbyterian School in 1936. And all along, he just loved to go on and on and on with his schooling. J.W.K. Harley then enrolled at the Accra Academy, right here in Accra, where he did his secondary education from 1936 to 1939. He completed secondary school at Accra Academy at the age of 20. And when he finished, he worked as an interpreter of Ewe and Twi at the district magistrate court in Accra. At the court, people who could not speak English but wanted to speak Twi or Ewe, he made himself available, and he did that to perfection because he spoke both Twi and English and, I beg your pardon, Twi and Ewe fluently. Later, he got promoted to work at the Supreme Court of Ghana. And whilst at the Supreme Court, he was encouraged to enlist in the Gold Coast Police because at the court, a lot of the people were brought in there by the police. And being the interpreter, he was encouraged to join the police force at the age of 21. In fact, exactly 7 days before his 21st birthday, he decided to join the Gold Coast Police in 1940. 17 solid years before the Gold Coast became independent and metamorphosed from Gold Coast to Ghana. My brother, my sister, he served in the police force, J.W.K. Harley, for 12 solid years until in 1952, when he was selected for training at the Metropolitan Police College in Hendon. Now, Hendon is in England, Britain. My brother, my sister, and over there, when he finished the course, that took only 1 year, he returned to his motherland, Ghana, and he progressed from the rank of Assistant Superintendent of Police to the Commissioner of Police in 1965. Now let me tell you how he became the Commissioner of Police. When he returned from London, 1965, my brother, my sister, there was an assassination attempt on Kwame Nkrumah, and that assassination attempt was done by Ametewe. Remember how Ametewe chased Kwame Nkrumah, who was then coming out of his office to go for lunch. he shot at him several times at point blank and missed Kwame Nkrumah. In fact, Kwame Nkrumah would have been a ghost, but for the timely intervention of another police officer from the northern region of Ghana, my brother, my sister, by name Dagati. My brother, my sister, Dagati was the man who stood between the henchman, Ametewe, and the president, Kwame Nkrumah. He took all the bullets from Ametewe and fell right in front of Kwame Nkrumah. Those were the days of loyalty. My brother, this was not the first time somebody laid down his life for Kwame Nkrumah. It also happened in Klungugu, when another police officer, upon hearing the tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock in the bouquet of flowers that was presented to Kwame Nkrumah by a little girl, pushed Kwame Nkrumah to the ground. Some of the police people were ready to pull the trigger, thinking that he was about to assassinate the president. At that very moment, the bomb that was tick-tocking, of course that was a time bomb, exploded and tore the little girl into pieces, killing a number of people who were close to the president. For the timely intervention of this wonderful police officer, Kwame Nkrumah would have been yet a ghost. In 1965, upon trying all the bombs to finish off Kwame Nkrumah and failed, they now sent an archman, an archer, my brother, my sister, a man who could shoot with precision, and that was Emetewe, and he was from the Volta region. At this time, Kwame Nkrumah had already fallen out with Afro Gbede, aka Gbedema, and the Ever people were beginning to get so angry with Kwame Nkrumah, and they started forming alliances, listen attentively, around each other so that they could deal with Kwame Nkrumah. Right after Kwame Nkrumah witnessed yet another assassination attempt, but for the timely intervention of Dagati, my brother, my sister, he would have been a ghost. He decided that the police service had failed. And at that time, the leader of the police, in fact, the commissioner of police, which was the highest rank of the police, was E.R.T. Majite. He was the first police commissioner of Ghana, having taken over from the British. E.R.T. Majite was the police commissioner at that time. And Nkrumah was so angry. He said, how can you be the police commissioner in charge of my security? And a man, you place a man at a point, and this man almost took my life. He decided to retire E.R.T. Majite and bring on yet another Ever. Kwame Nkrumah did not know that the Evers were already planning against him. And he brought another man from the Volta region. And this man was called J.W.K. Harley, the man we're talking about today. He believed in Harley. He had no knowledge of the fact that the Evers, under the influence of Afro Gbede, aka Gbedema, were so angry with him and falling out with him, and were already creating alliances to deal with the president. So he brought on Harley. My God. My brother, my sister. Now the man who was the police officer at that time, as you have been told, was the man called E.R.T. Majite. His full name was Erasmus Ransford Tewia Majite. In fact, he was all the way from the eastern region. In fact, Manya Krobo district, a town called Aframase. Aframase, that was where he came from. He schooled at Krobo Odumasi Krobo Presbyterian School, and finally ended up at the University of Ghana. In fact, he was a very serious policeman. But the moment Kwame Nkrumah realized that, how could you sit down for another policeman to come and, in fact, try to take my life under your watch? He decided to remove him. And the mistake Nkrumah made was to bring another Ewe man there at a time that all the Ewes, or better still, most of the Ewes were against him. And you will soon get to see. All because of Afro Gbede. My brother, my sister, see what happened now. Now, why were the Ewes against Kwame Nkrumah? They believed that Nkrumah did not treat Afro Gbede well. They believed Afro Gbede, a.k.a. Gbedema, had worked very hard for Nkrumah. And they believed Nkrumah betrayed him and pushed him out. So they wanted to punish Nkrumah for dealing with one of them like that. So you see, Nyabro did not start from now. And I need you to listen attentively. Now, Ametewe was also from the Volta region. So they got him to stand there. And when the president was coming out, he was supposed to fire and kill the president. When the president started coming out, he fired the first shot. Pow! When Nkrumah turned around, in his own book, he wrote that he heard it and he thought it was Christmas crackers. But it was not time for Christmas. And when he looked around, he saw Ametewe firing at him point blank and shouting, Jimakba, 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 and was coming after him. Oh Lord, God have mercy. That was the point where Dagati stood in Dodo and took all the bullets and went down for Kwame Nkrumah. So Kwame Nkrumah decided to remove E.R.T. Majite as the police commissioner. Mistake he made, he brought another Ewe man on, and the plot continued. So, this was 1965. A year before Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. And this was the time that J.W.K. Harley, the man we're talking about today, had just returned from Hendon in England and had been promoted by Kwame Nkrumah in all trust to be the commissioner of police. And then he went to Kwame Nkrumah and told Nkrumah, Nkrumah, you know what? The people who planned to kill you, I know all of them by intelligence. Hear this. Now all the serious police officers around Kwame Nkrumah who were giving Kwame Nkrumah total security, all the trusted policemen, the top policemen who gave Nkrumah nothing but loyalty, J.W.K. Harley told Nkrumah that they were all enemies of Kwame Nkrumah. He mentioned them by their name, and Kwame Nkrumah believed him and sacked or demoted all those policemen who were loyal. But Nkrumah asked him, but these people have been loyal to me. They have never, he said, hey, Mr. President, please, this is my work. I'm supposed to protect you unless you don't trust me. These guys are enemies. He removed all of them and replaced them with Ewes. And who are the Ewes? They are from the Volta region. The great people from the Volta region. Very wonderful people. Great culture. Great energy. Very good brethren and sistren. My brother, my sister. Harley made sure as the commissioner of police, he replaced all the people who were behind Kwame Nkrumah in the police service, top rank, and helping Kwame Nkrumah. He demoted all of them, sacked some of them, and replaced all of them with Ewes. And then the plot thickened. My God. Then he came to Kwame Nkrumah and said, hey, you know what? We need to implement what is known as the PDA. Nkrumah said, what is that? He said, it's the Preventive Detention Act. We don't have immediate evidence to show that this person is trying to kill the president. But we have some kind of intelligence showing that these people can be dangerous. Let us lock them up before they strike. So Harley was the one who helped Kwame Nkrumah with the PDA, Preventive Detention Act. My brother, my sister, and started putting all the other people in jail. So Kwame Nkrumah put JB Dankwa in there. He put in Akwaje in there. Victor Owusu in there. He put in so many different people in there. Most of them were top-ranking opposition members. And it was all because of Harley. When Harley took all the major and the top gurus, the top guns of the country, and put them in jail in the PDA, he made Kwame Nkrumah very unpopular. And that was his aim. He made the president most unpopular. Everybody in Ghana was talking. PDA. They are locking up people. He's locking up his enemies. Especially that JB Dankwa had to die in prison. My brother, my sister, Harley made Kwame Nkrumah very, very unpopular. And see what he did. After he suggested all these names to the president and he locked them up, some he sacked, some he demoted, he went back to the same people and told them, you know what? Look at what the president is doing. The president is an enemy of the state. When you advise him, he doesn't listen. So, something has to happen. Kotoka, also from Alakpa in the Volta region, my brother, my sister, my God, joined the Ever movement. And he became the chief planner of the coup. The moment the PDA started, Kotoka also started. My God. He joined hands with another man called Deku, also from the Volta region. My brother, my sister, so the coup of 1966 was a major Ever affair. Evers who were not happy that Afro Bede was treated the way he was treated by Kwame Nkrumah, galvanized themselves into a conglomeration so that there would be a total annihilation. My brother, my sister, without any agglutination. Can I break it down, please? They came together, ready to finish Kwame Nkrumah. And Kotoka was the chief henchman. Kotoka had just returned from an area where he had shown the whole country that he was a brave soldier. My brother, my sister, at that time, Ankara had also returned from Congo. And Kwame Nkrumah had promoted him and then retired him because in Kwame Nkrumah's own word, he was not an extraordinary soldier. He was not brilliant. He was a man of mediocre ability in his own book. So, Ankara was not happy. But in Kwame Nkrumah's own book, Dark Days in Ghana, he wrote that because he was not a brilliant soldier, he could not even plan a coup. It was Kotoka and Afrifa who planned the coup and then brought on Ankara because he was an eloquently speaking force man who had been retired because he took a bribe and some other such things. Mediocre quality soldier, J.A. Ankara, according to what Nkrumah wrote. So now, my brother, my sister, Kotoka and the rest planned the coup, and then they called it Operation Cold Chop. Why did they name it Operation Cold Chop? Because they were sponsored by the CIA. They were getting money that they could chop, and by the Ghanaian parlance, chop is to eat. Cold chop is like some saying cool cash. They were all bribed by the CIA. They took the money. And at that time, the American ambassador to Ghana, called Mahoney, had met Nkrumah, and he had realized that Nkrumah was beginning to get frightened by the number of assassination attacks on his life. So he wrote back to the CIA in America, and of course, the President of America, telling them that, oh, Nkrumah is beginning to be frightened, but he still has some power, and that power, whilst it's in Ghana, there is no way he can be overthrown. He still has some strong loyalists. My brother, my sister. So Harley, having made Nkrumah so unpopular with the army and a number of people, oh my God, finally joined hands with Kotoka, Deku, and a guy from the northern region of Ghana, the Gomba man by ethnicity. He was called Bawa Yakubu. And they agreed that they should just kill Nkrumah on the 21st of February, because it had already been planned by the CIA and the Americans that Nkrumah should fly to Hanoi for the Vietnam peace talks. And my brother, because we're not talking about that, I will not go too much into that. So Nkrumah took the flight on the 24th, I beg your pardon, 21st, leaving Ghana upon persuasion. June Mill had to talk to him. And even, my brother, my sister, his own private secretary had to also speak with him. Oh Lord, God have mercy. Had to speak with him to encourage him to go away. And who was this? Erica Powell. Now, if you go towards Radio Gold area, there's a street named after Erica Powell. She was one of the powerful secretaries of Kwame Nkrumah. And June Mill was his executrix. I know you want to know what that means. The person who was taking care of his literary works. You understand? Kwame Nkrumah's writings. She would read and suggest a few other things. But most of the time, she herself wrote that Nkrumah wrote to perfection. She said Nkrumah wrote, and sometimes she had to ask Nkrumah to explain some of the lines that he wrote, even as an English woman. Nkrumah spoke impeccable English. Hear what happened now, my brother, my sister. So J.W.K. Harley joined hands with Deku and with the boy from the north, Bawa Yakubu, and Danny, who was from the chief's palace. Jesus Christ. They came together, and when Nkrumah was flying out, he shook hands with all of them. Yakubu was there. He shook hands with Harley. He shook hands with Kotoka. At that time, Afrifa had been sent to Kumasi. He had not even been endorsed by Kwame Nkrumah yet. Nkrumah was waiting to go on the trip and return, and then he would institutionalize or regularize Afrifa. And then when he shook hands with them and they were all smiling, he looked at them. At that very point, Kweku Bakum's father was also at the airport to shake hands with Kwame Nkrumah and say bye-bye to him. And that was Honorable Kofi Bakum. He was one of the trusted friends of Kwame Nkrumah, and he stayed a trusted friend of Kwame Nkrumah till the end. That is why Kweku Bakum today holds on strongly to the Pan-Africanists and the Nkrumah vibes. Yes, my brother, my sister. Kofi Bakum was there to shake hands with him. Another man was there. He was also called Bawa, but this was Major General Bawa. The Bawa Barracks was named after him. He was another of Kwame Nkrumah's top men. He was the top of the army. Harley was the top of the police. Bawa was the top of the army, and Nkrumah trusted them. He shook hands with all of them, sat in the plane, and went away. That was when the coup started the next day. Harley was part of those who planned it, And the idea was that they would lie to all the soldiers and the police using Harley. But they knew that Bauer could never be compromised. So they did not go to the army. They rather used Harley and told Harley that, Charlie, you have to speak with the police. We will also speak with the soldiers. Tell them that Nkrumah is trying to force all police and soldiers to go to Vietnam and fight. And they all remembered the World War II. What happened there? How the colonial administration did not even take care of the soldiers who returned. Nkrumah could not dare send them again. After all, he himself did not really take care of the veterans who went for the World War II. So when the police and soldiers heard this, they were like, we are going to Vietnam again to die? No, Nkrumah cannot do this to us. After the colonial master did this, and then they told them again that Nkrumah had stolen 8 million pounds. And he had run out of the country, and that he was not returning to the country, so the country had no governor. In other words, governance was dead in the country. These were the two major lies they told the police and soldier. And having come from Harley, a man that Nkrumah trusted and promoted, the whole police service believed it. Kotoka and Afrifa also had to deal with the army. Before Bauer could realize it, they were coming with people all the way from Kumasi, numbering about 6,000 police and soldiers with over 800 armored cars, coming all the way from Kumasi. And they were all singing, ye niabre ko, ye niabre ko, ye niabre ko. To be with, our eyes are red like red coral. We are ready for action. They all came. And then the coup started. First, Kotoka, the man from Alakbre, decided that he had to go and deal with Bauer because Bauer was Nkrumah's most trusted soldier. He went to him, went into Bauer's house and told Bauer that there was a coup. Nkrumah had been overthrown and that Bauer should either surrender or swear allegiance to the coup makers, the junta. And then Bauer said, me? What lie over my dead body? I will support you criminals, junta. I will neither surrender nor swear allegiance to you. Kotoka pulled out a pistol and shot him straight in the head several times in front of his wife and children. Right after that, they put him in the back of a pickup and drove him all the way around for the rest of the soldiers to see that all the juju that they claimed Bauer had from the northern region was useless juju. And Kotoka lied that Bauer even tried to shoot him. He shot him 3 times, but because of the juju he had from Alakble and Nogokpo, these were the 2 places he mentioned. He had juju from Alakble and Nogokpo. The bullets from Bauer could not hurt him. And for that matter, Bauer's useless bullets flew away like aimless birds across the ocean. My God. So the coup happened at the watch of J.W.K. Harley. J.W.K. Harley was promoted time and again, over and over. One of the worst traitors of Kwame Nkrumah. In fact, one of the worst enemies of Kwame Nkrumah. Let's listen to Harley. In fact, 2 years after Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, somewhere in 1968, they were now trying to, after they had banned party politics in this country, and so on and so forth, my brother, my sister, now Harley had been promoted over and over. In fact, even I think the Kufuor administration awarded him later. My brother, my sister, on Tuesday, April 29 in 1969, he came up with this statement. Listen to him. It starts with, some kind of sound.
First of all, you must exercise whatever powers the law confers on you with a high sense of responsibility and restraint compatible with the preservation of private and public liberty. This, of course, presupposes a thorough knowledge of all relevant regulations and laws relating to the maintenance of law and order. I wish at this stage to emphasize once again, as I've always done, the personal responsibility which every police officer bears for the consequences of his conduct and action. Ignorance of the law.
The voice of the traitor, J.W.K. Harley, all the way from Akagala in the Volta region. He kickstarted his career as an interpreter. He became a terrible traitor, stabbing Kwame Nkrumah in the back. He died in the 1980s. In fact, it was not Kufuor who awarded him or rewarded him or whatever. Hear what happened. Harley was the Inspector General of Police, making him the most senior police officer in the country. My brother, my sister, he later joined us with the National Liberation Council, the so-called government. And then he remained in this office and was appointed as Minister for Foreign Affairs in 1967 and 68. On September 3rd, 1969, there was a presidential commission which was formed. Mr. Harley was one of the members of the commission. The commission remained in place until the Progress Party came on, and Dr. Buzia also promoted him on and on and on and on. In 1970, he received an LLD from the University of Ghana. He died in the 1980s. Today, we remember one of the traitors who brought Ghana to the knees. The man Kwame Nkrumah trusted. And Harley and Deku actually came together to smuggle diamond. They were police officers. Harley was a police officer who was also a diamond smuggler. And Nkrumah wrote in his book that he wanted to return and sack him. Unfortunately, Nkrumah was removed. And to make it worse, Deku was part of it. And Harley was also